How's everybody doing? You know me, every time I try to do it right, something fucks it up. Alright. Alright. How's everybody doing? Boy, oh boy. What I got to tell you. I just got another revelation. Another revelation that I did not see coming. It has been our journey. Our journey, let me tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna be smacking. You know that I got fixing my teeth and I am making noises, so bear with me. And I barely have time to eat. I'm flying to Maryland in a few hours. I'll be staying at the Hilton. I was gonna stay in Baltimore, but I don't like Baltimore. And I don't like the politics of Baltimore. I gotta eat, excuse me. And my pastelito and my coffee. I gotta be on a plane at 3 o'clock. I'm leaving Simon with my with William. My boss with my tutor. And I was mad after I told him, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And motherfuckers didn't do it. I was gonna do my classes and do a reading. I was supposed to read Olga, Frank, Lucy, do her occult courses. Please forgive me, I apologize. But sometimes they talk to me and they put me to sleep. I'm like Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet. When they talk to me, they put me to sleep. And the sleep is not, it's heavy. It feels like I'm in a coma. It's not comfortable. And I can feel it before it hits. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Now, if I know what's wrong, hey, listen, don't get scared or panic, but in a couple of seconds, if I faint, leave me alone. They come to talk to me, then boom, and then I pass out. And sometimes I don't wake up until the next day. That's part of the gift. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. They tell you it's a gift. But they're very sure. They're very certain not to tell you the liability that comes with that gift. Well, what they told me was mean anything. It might be a big deal to me and to many people who are into astrology. But it might not be still though. I like to risk and actually state it because it was for you to hear it. And that is the mystery behind God. Whatever that may mean to you, if you're into astrology, you have to understand that we also believe in the concept of the creator. But a lot of people have been dying to know, where is the evidence of God in the horoscope? Supposedly, the horoscope has everything. Live, how you're gonna die, when, and everything in between. Even the birth moment can be detailed in the horoscope. For example, I'm a twin. And when my mother went into labor and gave birth to us in 1967, I came out first. My brother was a breech birth. It grew complicated. Me and my brother are 15 minutes apart. Do you know that when I did my chart at 7:31 a.m. and my twin brother 7:46 a.m. The evidence of a breech birth is not on my chart, but it's on my brother's chart. 15 minutes apart. And you see the aspects on the ascendant and the breech birth. Amazing! Fascinating! I knew this in my early 20s when I was learning to be an astrologer, and we had to do the calculations, blah, blah, blah. I found it fascinating. So I told my instructor, well, if we can find out to that degree, to that detail, then where is God in the horoscope? So far, we've been shown everything, given everything. What about God? You know what the instructor told me? I'm starving because I woke up 25 minutes ago. From last night in the afternoon, passed out. When you get these psychic visions and revelations, the body gets hungry. Because, it's energy that's outside of this. So it taxes your energy. What calibrates me back is usually food with a lot of sweet. The energy of the sweet. So I sweeten the coffee more than usual. There is a planet in astrology that is revealed of God. And it's big enough to break all concepts and perceptions and perspectives of what God is. It leaves nothing out. Well, last night, a being came to me, tall, but was not the light that we see. It was different. It felt like it was alive, like a living light. It was a little frightening. And this being will not show itself. He said, no, that is not for my eyes. It told me to listen. And told me that I did a good job. I'm doing a good job as an astrologer and informing the public. But they're telling me that now the public is ready for the next layer of truth. I was like, oh boy, what now? They told me that to connect to God, which starts within and germinates outward, that you have to use the planet Neptune. The planet Neptune, the ruler of Pisces and the 12th house. It is Neptune that's the secret behind God. If we want to understand what God is, who it is, what it is, and I'm talking, philosophically, conceptually, but not even that. People who are much older are probably the young people. This is not useful to you. Maybe you get older, and become more philosophical about life and what you've learned and what you've experienced. Then you get to sit back, like my age, 54, and contemplate God and all that kind of stuff. No. They're telling me, no, you're going to talk to the young people and you're going to let them know where God is. But for me to do this, and they told me that it wasn't going to be easy. And you know why it's not going to be easy? Because of you. Your belief system. See, we have to get to a point where we have to believe that the mere act of belief is power. I can open all doors. Like my logo says in the People's Astrologer, money is not power. Knowledge is not power. Belief is power. But this is something that's like a joke to many people. They take the concept of belief as something very casual, very mundane, and very operative with ego and affirmation, and so if one believes one can do whatever it is that they want to do, whether they have the skills, the talent, the money, or not. The concept of belief is very abstract. And unfortunately, in our culture, our Western culture, it's not really taken very seriously. In order for us to take the concept of belief seriously, we need evidence of it. That's the problem. We want evidence of God, of his existence. Yet, we don't accept that this beautiful, beautiful orchid is a part of God. That God isn't here, or this won't be alive. We don't believe that the end result of a God that we don't see, hear, know, taste, smell is evident in nature. That nature is the signature of God. Oh, people say, oh, it's beautiful, that's fine. It's poetic. It's even allegorical. Okay, sure. But that's not all there is to God. There is empirical data and evidence that He does exist, and that nature is a reflection of it. If you want to see God, according to the Bible and other texts, you'll die. You can't see God. But you can experience God through the works of your hands. But then again, when the Bible says, if you see me, you shall surely die. You know what that means? That means that when you see God, guess what you're going to see? You're going to see yourself. Because we are God in human form. So if you see the actual prototype of God, the template in which we came from, you know what's going to happen? It will cancel itself out. It will become zero. Because this is a hologram. It's like a mirror. The real God is inside and is reflective of the real template which created this holographic existence. So if you see God, it's like matter and antimatter. Once they come into contact, it becomes nullified. It cancels out. It becomes absolute zero. And the mathematics endorses it. The mathematics explains it and it validates it. So if you want to see God, look in the mirror. And that's God. You. So, and that is a mirror. The real mirror, which belongs to Neptune. The image of reality of this down here is a imagination. Also is ruled by Neptune, Gaia. Principle is the mirror. The ocean, you look in the water, you can see your own reflection in the water. Isn't the water an aspect of God? It's deep. It's scary too. You can't see God because you die. That means that, but when they say that you die, they're talking about your ego. The ego will die because the ego will see that God is really you and that the ego is only a facsimile memory, a creation in order to sustain the hologram of this existence, which is not real. Then the real God that's in you is asleep. That's the soul, which is also ruled by Neptune. So I finally figured it out after I had the vision. We cannot see God because if we do, we will cease to exist as the ego separate from God. And I mean the soul will go right back into God. If I was to look at it, the soul will go right back into God because that's the source. And the ego will die because the ego is in the face. Does that make sense? I gotta get a napkin. Oh. Yes, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. It's deep and it's about to get deeper. Deeper, deep, 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 deeper, deep, 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 deeper. It makes sense. It goes back to mathematics. Now, let me hear from you guys. What's your opinion about that? Before I proceed with letting you know Neptune in each of the signs and houses. This was not part of my plan. This was not part of my plan. They told me to do this. So I don't know what's going on out in the heavens. Oh, and I also have for you some more information about the things that are coming. This can also be proved in the horoscope. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work. Sure can. Okay, I'm done eating my pastelito with my coffee. Now it's time for my apparel. Well, God, I'm gonna go traveling, please. You know, I always get jittery when I get on a plane. Okay, where's Mr. Magoo? Mr. Magoo, where are you? Oh, man, you never fail. I always forget the little motherfucker. Wait, hold on. All right. Sorry, lady. My tulips and my birds of paradise. I know you can't see it. Okay. Let's go to the beginning and say hello. Okay. Lucy Bean. How are you, Lucy? Babyface bastard. How are you? Yes, it's heavy, Uncle. It is. What's up? Alberta Court, Agena Moon, CTRL girl. How are ya? Evo 7. Yeah. Castro Beauty. How are ya? Ajira Vibran. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Bill Court. Black Wisdom, blessing. Angela Addison Lowe, thank you. Serendipity 127. Hey, Joshua Sarat. Joshua, are you related to the painter Sarat, who does the paintings of Sarat? If you look in the museum, they are worth $1 million. You are quite in there. Yeah, carry on. How are you? Yeah, we met Diana going through it. I'm going through it, and handling it. Yes, Empress 5. I'm in New York City, but I'm flying out to Maryland in a few hours. I'll be there till Monday. So any of you that are in Maryland and want to come to see me, I'll be staying at the Hilton. Okay. Agena mentioned I have Neptune conjunct Uranus and Venus, so this means that New York God is lovely and eccentric. My God is. Yes, it is. Hey, Uncle Fernando, how are you? Zinai Basho. Yesi Auro, how are you? Alba La Pantera, how are you? Well, good day, buenos dias. Keisha McLean, how are you? I usually look in the mirror and I genuinely believe that I recognize God. Of course, because that's you. It's you. You are God in human form. But and you cannot know that you are God in human form. Otherwise, you're not gonna have fun here because you know everything, predict everything. The memory or the consciousness of the creator goes to sleep while the ego is born, which is the fabrication of the creator to act as a vehicle to navigate through this life, which is fiction and life. Now the question is, why do we have to go through this? What's the end of this whole band scheme thing? This is also a mystery. But it looks like the gods are getting ready. Neil Laporo, Maryland, good. Lizzie McGuire, wow, great. All right, the man line is always good to see you too. Beauty is power. Hi, Fernando, and happy day, everyone. I caught alive before I woke up early. Beauty is power, but there's no power greater than belief. Believe me. Okay, who else? Shafali Meshram. How are you? Yes. Your reading has been scared by Miss Farmer. Yeah, look forward to it too. Your voice is laggy. I don't know what that is. Spiritual soul, gazer. Tony underscore 11. How are you? Joshua, yep. Cosmic Dreamer, how are you? Sky Astrology, how are you? Thank you for coming. Neil Carrion, Kia Faith, Cherie G. I'll hear the sound. The sound should be good. The sound should be good. The video is it's hard to understand you. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do when that happens. I'm powerless to do anything about it. I don't know. Because what's happening to you on my end, it looks normal. It looks fine. There's a problem. No, nothing. So this is something that you're experiencing because probably you're not meant to hear this. Maybe when that happens, I mean, that's the only thing that can come to my mind. It's not meant to be said. It's not meant to hear it because everything seems normal on my end. It does seem normal. I don't see any problem. I don't hear no glitches, but I do get that a lot from you guys. And if that happens, then it means that you're not meant to hear it or experience it. And that can be a little frustrating because then I'm supposed to do it, but then that means that a few people won't be able to. Or maybe there's one person among all of you that's not allowed to see it. And for that one person, they will stop the recording or make it difficult. It's and I feel powerless to do anything about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Uh, and that sucks. Um, okay. Can you hear me okay? Let me see if anyone can say that. Is it still lagging? Does it sound better? You can hear the glitch much better. Okay. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on with that. It's very frustrating because I can't control it. And, you know, man, I don't want to be a control freak, but I'm an alpha man. I like to control things, make sure they come out right. So I think this is where I get my dessert. And it's kind. it's not as selfish. It's not that this is for me. But again, when you're doing something good or positive or something that uplifts people, society, what's going on? Check your charger. It's always something. It's always something. It's amazing. It's amazing. You know, I don't know how or I have not become angry or embittered by these experiences. But let me tell you, it's exhausting. And it's not the knowledge that's exhausting. It's to get to the knowledge, to bring it to you, that is exhausting. They make it difficult. So what I believe is the issue is that there's some of you in the chat that cannot supposed to hear this. And you're the ones that are experiencing these types of obstacles. I mean, that's how I have to find a way to make sense of it. Okay. Hello. No, I have to touch the camera because then when things are going right on your end, they go wrong on my end. And that's how, the guys, that's how they get fed by that type of energy and emotion. It comes with the territory. It sucks. But it comes, and I bet it's easier to do bad than to do good. Instead of want to do good, it becomes more of an obstacle. Evil becomes so easy and so fluid. Okay. Wherever you find Neptune in the horoscope is where you can pull the plug on this illusion. And wherever Neptune is in your horoscope is where you will experience godity or God. But you're not going to experience him or her outside of you. Because God was never outside. He's inside. Like it says in the Bible, the kingdom of God is inside you. When you look at the heavens and you see the stars and the planets and the beauty and grandeur of what's material matter, all of that exists inside you. It seems to me that God was bored being self-contained with all that beauty. And he decided, now what made him decide? Who? That's another mystery. What made God externalize himself and create all this? I really believe that God was bored with his own greatness and beauty and splendor and wanted to share it. So he externalized herself, and became an atom. And the atom became the vehicle for manifestation of matter, as we know it. And it's quite beautiful. And the mathematics supports it. The mathematical equations in physics supports it. So it makes sense that if we are to see God, we will surely die. But here's where the church made some changes. We will die, but it's not the soul, Fernando, the spirit. It's not the spirit that's going to die, or the soul. It's Fernando that's going to die. The ego. Fernando is the ego, which is a creation. If I was to see God, then I know for a fact that Fernando is not real, but a made-up character, like a playwright who writes a character in a play, or a cartoonist who writes a cartoon and writes Elmer Fudd or Clifford, the talking dog. These are characters, but they're egos for a fabrication from the creator. So if the creator merges back to the source, then the what was left behind dies. Think of it like this. Let's say you are a movie star. The day will come, well, one day you'll die. So you die, the ego dies, the flesh dies, and the soul created that person, goes back to God. So then what's left is the shell. Watch movies of dead actors and dead actresses. You're looking at the shell of the ego that once was. The soul merged back to the creator. That's a death. A death to this reality. Not a death as a second death of the death of the soul. No. It is a death of consciousness. Once the ego knows that it is not real, that it was fabricated by a creator, it dies. Because it is the creator who gives the ego an identity. Again, like a playwright who creates a character. The playwright decides the color, the eyes, the hair, and fat skinning, whether they're going to live a good life or a tragic life. The playwright is acting like the creator and creating the character. Some playwrights take months to create a character and write it. It's a reflection of the creator, the playwright. But in itself, it's not real. So when the play is over, the characters die or die off. Done. What do you think about that? Any questions about that? The God and his creation. It's like a set, props, costumes. It's all an illusion. That's why plays are taught in schools, and plays are very important to learn, because they're letting us know how reality is a dual aspect of something real and something not real. Okay? So understand that when the Bible says, if you see God, you shall surely die. What will die is the ego. And then you, upon seeing God, will merge back with him. And the ego stays behind, because the ego cannot come with it, because it's a fabrication, and dies. The memory of the ego goes with you. If God in me reincarnates into another carbon matter, and it's a woman, let's say Lisa, and Lisa goes to a past life regressionist, and the regressionist says, "Oh, Lisa, you were a man in your past life." Really? I was? Yeah. A man of color. And he was very gregarious. Really? Is that in me? Oh, no. Yeah. So the soul has a memory of Fernando. And with the right training and skill of a hypnotherapist or past life regressionist, they can access the memory of Fernando that the soul carries with it. But will there ever be another Fernando? No. Only one of a kind. And that's why the soul, which is God, goes to sleep and have his day. He's one day. And when it's time to die, that Fernando or Lizzie or whatever will never see it again. And not even close would there be another one to resemble who you are. There's something beautiful. There's no one in the world on the planet like you. No one else is like you. No one else is like you. So that in itself is a beautiful concept. But you'll be surprised how many people don't believe this. And you can't blame people really, because government and the church have put an agenda together to make sure that this is not taken seriously. So we can get stuck in the illusion of karma and the wheel of rebirth, and we don't get to wake up. We all are having two experiences. The experience is not real. It's just a broken part. Why are we having this experience? We still don't know that. We are slowly beginning to realize this game, a very well-crafted game among the gods and humans. Yeah. It's fierce. It's what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? I'm cutting out a lot. Is it, how is it? Is it? Can you hear well? And can you see? I'm looking to see if the visual is still okay. Is the audio what? What's the audio? You having a problem with the audio? Let's see. Isn't it terrible? Okay. Is the volume okay, guys? Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Somebody saying it's okay. I'm gonna assume it's okay. Because I will have no way of knowing. It's cutting out at times. It might be that certain bits of information that I'm giving is being censored. I'm not allowed, you're not allowed to hear it. Now I have to be very, very vigilant and rely on you guys to let me know, because otherwise I would not know. I'm so focused on delivering the material that I'm not focusing on the fact whether you are hearing me or seeing me. So that's why now I gotta take a look. Yeah, oh yeah, I just learned about that. I have to say, that the fact that I'm having still the same problem is absolutely spiritual. What I'm saying is too much now, but there are evil forces, clarity, you know what the duality that's trying to stop me from giving you this information. And you know, there's nothing I can do about permanently stopping it. It's just part of nature and reality. As long as I live, I have to deal with that. And all of you do too in your own perspective lives. And now I take a pause, do a prayer, and ask for mercy. Okay? Now, make sure that you guys can hear me okay, because then I'm going to go and start talking about the planet Neptune and his function around the signs in this new perspective that I just gave you. And of course, if you're born with Neptune in Aries, you are to experience God by believing yourself that you are God and that you are going to go into battle in order to prove that you are God through the works that you produce. With Neptune in Aries, you are going to relive the mythology of Abraham and Paul. Remember the angel came and was fighting Paul? And the angel struck him on the thigh, and he changed his name to Israel, the birth of a nation. The mythology of Israel will be relived with those born with Neptune in Aries. And the evidence of God in your life will be every single battle that you win, whether you create the battle or it's brought to your knees, in evidence of God. Joan of Arc is an example that I mentioned before, where she went to she fought to get a dolphin back to France. 16 years old. Joan of Arc was 16 years old and conquered the army and took back the dolphin and brought it to France. And then, of course, Joan of Arc refused to give the dolphin to the French monarch after they hired her to take it and seal it. And then, of course, they burned her at the stake. So Neptune in Aries is where there's going to be complete innocence. You're going to have a purity of heart that truly is like the baby. And people are going to come for you. Oh, almost relentless to seek your destruction. And the more innocent you are, and the more naive and the more forgiving you are, the more you're apt to win. The only problem is that you cannot assert revenge with Aries and Scorpio. Neptune in Taurus is you're going to understand God, and you're going to trust yourself, believe in yourself, either at the highest esteem or at the very lowest esteem. And with Neptune in Taurus, you will not be rescued. You are your own rescuer. And this is true with Neptune in all the signs. This is the area of the horoscope where you're on your own and you are to discover God on your own through your own sweat and brow, belief or disbelief. You are to embody. What's going on here? I'm getting a message, but it's a message I've never seen before. Again, you have to prepare for shit. If you have a low self-esteem and a low sense of self-worth, which is the second house, then you're going to reflect that 10 times. And God in you will magnetize that. Whereas if you believe that your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth is intact and no further development is needed in this area, that you got this, then a Saturnian that plows the earth very slowly but deliberately, it's impossible for you not to get at your goal. It's impossible for you not to reach your goal. You're going to reach your goal. Why? Because you believe you already have it, or because you're already on your way. You will not be asking anybody for help. You will not be asking anybody for suggestions. You're not going to go to a therapist or doctor or shrink. Whatever self-esteem or self-worth you feel is deficient in you. You have to learn to transcend any shortcomings or any deficiencies that you feel is taken away from who you are. And that's Neptune in Taurus. You have to decide your own value and not look for suggestions or advice outside of yourself pertaining to the calibration or the gauging of this index of self-esteem and self-worth. How could you? You're the only one that's going to know it. And you're the only one that's going to know what the problem is deep down and how to fix it. God doesn't give you shit and not give you stuff for you to fix it. You just got to find it. Neptune in Taurus. In Gemini, Neptune in Gemini speaks the truth. And speaks the truth not only of nature, God itself, people, even animals. It does it in a way that it was the original intent of the Creator before the Big Bang. So Neptune is perfect. Through the power of the voice, you can reach God. You can reach God. Because it was not just the machination of speech, language, and cognition. Don't forget, Gemini also rules a multiplicity of simulations that mirror experiences of kinds. So God, in the sense, will be the multiplicity of where it is the problem of bringing out a good solution. It shows that there's more than one way to skin the cat. I don't like it. So God is experienced by variety and flux of change. And this is something that the Gemini person grasps. He'll understand that his mind, his blood vessels, his nervous system is all a big highway. And Geminis, they love local travel. So self-exploration will be the best ideal for these types of people. Whereas when they reach age 50, they can probably employ that to whatever it is that they're doing and bring it to actual fruition, and it will be taken seriously because they will have the tenure of time and energy and years behind them to finally test. Yes, this is empirically true because it's been tried and tested, and I'm over 50 and I have 3 years background to be able to validate that. And most people will see that. Most people will endorse that. They'll see it. Neptune in Gemini. Neptune in Cancer. Here we have a little problem. It's unstable and unpredictable, and Neptune always seems to be unstable and quite visceral in its messages. The moon is too. So when you have these two bodies together, the answer could be right in your face and you are circulating around it instead of it circling around you. There may be a hesitation and a doubt to move forward. But Cancer has a phenomenon that she loves, and I don't think she admits it openly, and that is the love to sing. And singing is the magic wand of the voice among the water signs and the fire signs. Amazing. But unfortunately, Scorpio also, along with the other fishes and what it symbolizes, can also be canceled out. The knowledge is too intense and it can be blacked out. Cancer and Scorpio are water signs, and they are very similar. We're going to end it here, and then we'll do another one because I'm getting drained. It's heavy stuff, and I have to give it to you in parts. Guys, please don't follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all all the other platforms. And please, if you don't see me soliciting money, I'll be doing videos. I won't call you and solicit because that person is still out there trying to scam you guys using me and duplicating my accounts. We're still dealing with that mess. Guys, thank you.